Howdy tubers. So I guess many of y'all wondering what the hell happened to me and where I'm at. And I gotta fix that because I just set all this up. Well, here I am back in my room in Texas. Same house where it all began. Yeah, so mine is a really long story and I'm not going to bore you with it, but I'll tell you what I will do over the coming weeks. How about I tell you little pieces at a time? Probably best to do it that way so you can kind of digest it. To start off with, I've had kind of a whirlwind. I left Florida about a month and a half, well, not quite, about a month and 10 days ago. I just got back in my house last week. It's been kind of crazy trying to get back to being normal, and I'm in the process of trying to find work, which is always kind of fun. Not. I've been to San Francisco, and I've found kind of my own little epiphanies along my road, and so here we are. It is the end of September 2013. In 3 months, I will be to my 4-year mark on hormones, and some things are changing in my life, and I've had the wonderful experience of meeting some people who are really important to me and have given me a lot of guidance on my next step. So I'm not going to make this real long because there's so many things I need to talk about, and there's so much stuff that has kind of come up lately. I've been watching a couple of guys talk about kind of how you get into this flow. When you're in the first, and I think I've explained this probably in a previous video, but I'll go back and do a real quick synopsis. When you get into this really fast whirlwind of changes the first year, and every month you're going, oh my God, look at this, I got another hair, I got another. And I seriously doubt that teenage boys, as I've watched my two grow up, really pay that much attention to those changes, but God, we do. I mean, we really do. And so what happens is you get into this kind of weird gray area where the changes are not coming fast enough and they're not satisfactory, so you have to distract yourself. So you pull away from the thing that attracts you. So when you first have your epiphany that you need to transition, then what happens is you go out and you find all this information. Everything's kind of really, really fast and really, really slow at the same time. So you end up in this situation where you learn a lot, but shit don't change a lot. And then a couple of years down the road, changes are hard to find. And you become more and more comfortable with yourself. And when you do that, you spend less time thinking about or trying to reconcile those pieces. A funny thing happened today. I was looking at some pictures. I have some pictures that have been in a box since 2009. So the funny thing is, when I transitioned originally, I started at the end of 2009. I'd already packed half my life in boxes. So today I spent a lot of time unpacking those boxes. And wow, it's like my whole history in these boxes. It's almost like I put the old me away at the same time that I changed. And so all these things that were kind of important to me at the time, or were a really big part of me, I sort of put them away. And now I'm pulling them back out, and it's kind of created kind of an interesting situation. So, not to bore you too much, but just to say hello. Yes, I'm back in Texas. I've moved back into my house back in Houston, which has been in and of itself its own set of challenges. I don't know if I'll ever rent to anyone ever again. That's kind of a nightmare. I have a lot of work to do. It's going to take a lot of money to fix. But the good thing is it's my house. I own it. And if I pay a little extra every month, if I can find a decent job and I start paying a little extra every month, I got the potential for paying the joint off in the next 5 to 7 years. So, you know, I've lived here almost 20 years, and if I can pay it off a little bit early, then it's mine. I own it. It's all, I mean, it's my house, which would be great. So, what I would ask you to do is to join me in my next chapter. Yes, I'm leaving the law. I've decided not to be a lawyer. It's not really feasible for me. You know, people say, how can you say that? You have a law degree. You're a lawyer. Well, yes, I guess I always, on some sense or some level, I'm always a lawyer. But I'm not going to practice law. I think what I would rather do is make policy for people like you and me. And the way I can do that is by being behind the scenes and creating that policy and actually writing it and implementing it and pushing it through in places where it becomes law. And that's where my law degree is going to be handy. So that's kind of the direction I'm moving in. I believe I'm going to get into, I'm looking at the possibility of getting into a PhD program that Dr. Jameson Green will be teaching, which will be great. And it would give me kind of a leg up in a situation or an area of expertise that I really would like to be pivotal in. And we'll move forward from there. I am not leaving YouTube, so those of you just understand there may be times when I have these long absences because life is kind of bizarre like that. But I am paying attention. I'm keeping up with you guys. Trust me, I am watching. I don't get to watch everything, but I try to keep up with as much as I can, and I'm here. And you guys who sent me messages, you know, even if I haven't made a video, that I do answer. I have had a request, and I will do this, to make a video about what it's like to travel at various stages through transition. I've done it at various stages through transition, and there's some pointers I think that are important. I've never had any trouble traveling, so but I'll make a separate video for that. I've had enormous increase in subscribers lately, so welcome all of you who are new. And hopefully in these coming months and the next year, we'll be making some progress in some areas that I really hope to expand on. So I'm going to cut that right now because I've already bored the hell out of you. And I will promise that there is much more forthcoming. Also, check my Tumblr page. It's on my front page here somewhere, as you can click the thing. I'm going to start posting more blogs there. They might be short, many of them, but I'm going to try to do them a little more frequently than I have and see if I can't, I don't know, get the flow going, kind of, you know, get out there and really kind of get back to that whole giving back to the community thing. We take what we need when we need it, and we give what we have when we have it. Some of us sometimes get to a point where we walk away. That's okay. If it's time for you to walk away, or if you don't feel like you can contribute in this forum, that's fine. I'm perfectly good with that. I do what's comfortable for me, and I expect all of you to do what's comfortable for you. So, very soon, I'll talk to you soon. All right? So yeah.